What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada, and with my co-host, my guy, the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. What's good, Spread Astaire? How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, man. We had some exciting games last night, especially that big upset in Philly. We talked about it yesterday. That was the side we were on. Um, Still felt a little surprising in the way that it happened, right? Um, let's start with that game, right? I mean, Nuggets won, Nuggets covered, Nuggets were at home. We kind of expected that. But I really think the talk of the NBA right now has to be the Philadelphia 76ers um, you know, putting Boston on the brink of elimination. Joel Embiid was fantastic once again, and Boston looked lethargic once again to start. This team, I talked about it yesterday. When they put it all together, they're the best team in the league. But it feels like it's becoming less and less that this team puts it all together. What did you see in that game?
Are they really the best team in the league, or are they the best regular season team in the league? Because we're seeing that the Sixers have two alphas, and it always comes down, as I always say, in these type of situations, in these playoff and postseason games. It's always about the Jimmys and Joes more than the X and O's. Who has the dudes? Harden and Embiid are those guys. Tatum, Brown, not so much. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a Harden finally have full health and actually being in the first time with a player as talented as Embiid, because I don't count the OKC days with KD because they were babies. So as since he's been in the league, been a All Pro, an All Star, he's never had a running mate like Joel Embiid with him. That team is playing really well. He empowers Maxi. He empowers the other guys, and it's time to get this narrative out the way about Doc Rivers and how he can't coach and all this stuff. Because we saw a wonderful adjustment yesterday he made. Daniel House being in that game was major. He was a major factor in that game in the second half, and him getting those minutes that McDaniels was getting really changed up the pace for the Sixers, and also gave them another threat because McDaniels can't shoot. He can't knock down at three. He can't drive to the rim and finish. Whereas in House really can. I watched him all through high school. He's from a Texas kid from the Houston area. He played at A&M, and he was a really good player for the Rockets for many years until the bubble scandal when he snuck one of the ESPN girls into the room or something at the bubble.
Did you
Remember
hear
that?
about that?
Yeah, yeah. So
I heard he took the fall for Harden on that.
nah, he didn't take the fall for it. They might have both been, messing with some girls, but he took the fall for sure. And now sick, but Harden rewarded him back. He got the Sixers to sign him. So he has his guys over there with him and PJ Tucker. So just a great effort overall by the Sixers. And you remember, Spread, I was the only one before the playoffs started that said the Sixers are going to win the East and get to the finals this year. And you were saying, like, why you not on the Celtics? And I told you it's a different year, man. I got a really good feel for watching teams in any sport and can tell how their momentum going and how they're gelling as a squad, man. And I really liked what I saw out the Sixers, man, leading into the playoffs. And I felt like that they could win the East. And at least this was Embiid's turn to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. He's never even been there. So I think that they finished the Celtics in the next game.
Yeah, I'll give you credit there. The Lakers, right? Everybody's on that one.
Yeah,
Every
everybody was
shot,
on
dude,
there. Yeah,
But the Philadelphia 76ers, you were the first one to call that. And I didn't see it coming. I thought that this Boston Celtics team was going to have too much depth, and where that should have showed up was at home. But this team didn't get it done. They were lethargic as usual. And I love our guy Noobs, but that
yeah,
generation's so disrespectful. Like they
yeah,
can't call him by his nickname. They can't call him by his nickname. They have to call him. It's like they make like to do it. They make a big deal about it, right? It's like I don't get it. Like
that's
why?
why I
Because
told
you
him
don't
yesterday.
like the
Like, yeah,
rotations?
you came from Brett Brown. Used to be celebrating Doc
Yeah.
Rivers. Like, come on, man. But
And like
Doc,
all of us, let's not hey, we win money betting the basketball, right? We win money
right?
betting basketball. But let's not confuse ourselves. There's none of us that can bet that know more about basketball, calling plays, managing egos, managing huddles, doing all the things that come around, right? Just like that guy Harlabob, who, first of
Yeah.
all, when he made his fortune, it's not like he was some basketball genius. He was exploiting ref trends before anybody else did it, right? And
Right.
he tried to
Right.
go to the front office in Dallas, and it doesn't work at all. There's a
No,
difference between beating a market and understanding the sport.
that's
I
right.
don't understand the sport of basketball. When I'm watching the way that like guys like Coach Goodman do, right? When I'm watching,
Right.
I'm not seeing like, oh, they need to counter that double drag screen by
Right. They
bringing
need and they need
so
to
and
do a
so up.
drop coverage. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
better.
try and learn
Football
it.
I do. Basketball
Right.
I don't. Yeah.
I try and learn it, and I'm getting better. And I mean, we have so many options now, right? These playbacks with Nate Duncan and
Mm.
Nikias Duncan, right? Two great
Right.
guys that really take the time to not just say, like Stephen A. Like, did we talk about this yesterday? Stephen A's halftime analysis.
No, what did he say?
No, this is for every game. I saw this on Twitter. This isn't mine, but someone got it and they just nailed it. Whoever's ahead, their star stepping up. He's the man. And whoever's behind, right, their star, this isn't going to cut it. And he needs to pick things up, right? I mean, it's like every game, right? I mean, it's just, but now we can get this real analysis, and I feel like I'm learning a lot. But my point is, let's not discredit these coaches. Coaching in the NBA is so hard. Even in the NFL, you can cut someone.
Dude,
What do
Doc
you
is
do in
for
the NBA?
you stuck with Doc has forgotten more basketball than
Yeah,
me, you, and Noop's minds together have ever known.
yeah,
Believe that. He's been playing basketball, man, since he's been 9, 10 years old.
yeah,
Started in Chicago. You know how, especially back in those days in the 70s, Chicago and New York were just like, the epicenter for basketball. So it was just like he's been playing basketball, then coaching basketball forever, man. He knows things we'll never understand because basketball is one of the most difficult sports to actually analyze in X and O's, man, because they go so fast. Like, when do they call the plays? Like,
yeah,
like, is he calling? He's shooting it out. They have to have a couple plays that they're running. Unlike football where you can send a signal or speak through the headset. These point guards are getting these signals from the coach or run these plays on their own, almost like a 70s quarterback where they call the plays themselves. So it's just a whole different mentality and a whole different type of knowledge to coaching basketball, and it's time we respect Doc. He's a future Hall of Famer, man.
yeah. It's just so funny how this Twitter mob loves to get on these coaches, and it's
Yeah, but I tell you what, he better finish this game in Philly, because if not, the ghost of past are gonna come. Doc has blown a lot of 3-2 leads in his career, and one of the
yeah.
the last one I think was the one against us with the Rockets when the Clippers had it. But the difference now, he has James Harden, so I think that Harden will have those guys on point, because Harden's been the most difficult matchup for the Celtics. They don't have an answer for him. They're over in the huddle. Yesterday they were showing, they're like, I got him, because he's breaking down the defense, man. And as we spoke about before, his IQ level, him, LeBron, and Curry on a different level, IQ wise, when it comes to playing basketball than these other guys, man. Jimmy Butler's another one that's fell into that group now. They're just on a different plane of understanding basketball. KD is just a hooper, man. He can go, but he's not seeing the court the way that LeBron, Harden, Curry do, man. Like, these guys see things before they develop, man, and they make it really easy on their teammates. If their teammates are making shots, they're gonna get easy shots.
All right, let's talk about the evening game.
Not
after
much
the
to talk
after the
about.
first game, yeah, as I say, after the first game, right? Wow, crazy night in the NBA. Yeah, same feeling, right? Phoenix can almost win the series here tonight,
Yeah,
and Denver comes through and they put the smack down. They win
smacked
easily.
down.
That was actually my own. Well, I lost my Derek White prop too, but we had the over in that game. But when you bet overs, you're betting on a competitive game. And I thought we were going to see two competitive game fives. And I was kind of wrong. And I was so I was right that Philadelphia was going to do better than everybody expected, right? So hey, take the win there. That's nice.
Right.
I couldn't believe that Boston, even when last night I was checking the scores and then I rewatched the game when I got home, and I kept
Hmm.
thinking Boston's got a run in them, right? When Philly
Right.
goes up early, and I go, oh man, I wonder, if the ghost of the last game is going to come back. They have so many minutes. Boston has so many minutes whether it's they just waste so many minutes. But let's move on to Phoenix and Denver. I don't want to take too much from that. I feel that Phoenix has a great chance to win Game 6, and then anything can happen.
Right.
So just because Denver looks so good, doesn't necessarily mean that I saw a lot of people already predicting, breaking down a potential Nuggets Lakers matchup, and I'm thinking not so fast on
Yeah,
one
not
side.
so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Game
On
7
both
may be a little.
sides, even on with the Warriors. And I got many Lakers tickets, but man, the Warriors can still win the games three
You're
straight.
right.
We don't, I
You're
don't.
right.
When you got a player like Steph Curry, anything can happen, bro. You know that.
Don't you feel that vibe around the team is all wrong?
No, their
They
vibe.
just don't feel the
They're gonna.
same.
It's gonna be like this when the season's over. It's gonna be like, like they're fighting now. The competitive side. We don't want to give up our championship that we won. But I'm telling you, when that season's over, Kerr might take off, man. Kerr might retire for a little while, cause I know it's been stressful for him this last season because you were hearing a lot of noise. Remember before they had the really
And
subpar
Warriors
year.
fans, they love to trash him too. We're talking about trashing Doc
Oh,
Rivers.
they the
They
most
trash
spoiled
Steve
base
Kerr.
now.
He's a top
They're
five
worse than the
coach in the
Lakers
league.
base. They're the worst.
Oh
They're the
no,
worst fan
no,
base now. I think,
nope,
man.
nope. Lakers are still
Warriors
worse.
are up there
I
now,
have
man.
Lakers fans. My buddies that are Lakers fans texting me. They've been trashing Darvin Ham all year. I'm like, you don't know anything about basketball, then. They're
Nothing.
trashing Darvin Ham. I mean, like, come
Nothing.
on.
Nothing about basketball. But back to this series and this individual game, man, I was able to just get out with only using losing one unit on it. I was lucky because I was all in on the Suns +6 and money line. Then I took them first half +4. That was a steal. I got so lucky to get that because the second quarter they were down 15 going into the quarter. KD and Booker make a great run in the second quarter, ended up getting it inside the four, and they go to the half down 3. And I actually took an in game +10.5 -125. And I hate paying that type of juice, but it was worth it on the first half as well. So that made it where I leveled out. So now I'm 2-2 regardless. But then I, like a silly guy, took the +3.5, and I should have known that if the Suns were going to win, the second half would have been like +1 or pick 'em. They had that -3.5 Denver out there dangling for the squares, and I fell right in the category with them and fell for it. And Denver came out at after the half, man, with their hair on fire and just really beat their ass. And it was just a really good job by the Nuggets. I like the Nuggets pieces, man. They remind me of how the Warriors used to be, where they're just really deep. You don't know who's going to give it to you every night, but it's just a bunch of energy guys. Christian Braun, I loved him at Kansas, and man, he's a lot taller and stronger and more athletic as he's getting older than I thought he was going to be. Man, that guy is shot out of cannon. He can really play, man. You saw him dunk on KD when he gets on the break. It's a dunk every time, and um, they got the old head Green that keeps the bench together, holds down the second team, and makes sure that they're good. And then these great pieces like KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown with a huge game last night. He went for 25. So Denver's ability to go down the bench is what's making them the best team right now. Sometimes that only works in the regular season, but then you get these teams like the first Warriors run where you have just it's strength in numbers. There's more players on our team that can produce and give us good minutes, and that's what the Nuggets are winning. They have a great player in two-time MVP Jokers, but the pieces around them are spectacular.
Yeah, I think we should continue to give Jokic credit. Man, he's kind of flying under the radar. The number he's putting up in the second round, he's
Yeah.
first in points, first in rebounds, and second in
He's
assists.
going to
So
be exposed next series if the Lakers win. If the Warriors come back and make he's gonna get exposed, man. You know why?
AD's gonna have problems with
Hey,
him.
AD's gonna kill him on offense. He's not getting any work. He's not having to play defense, man. Aiden is weak. Aiden can't make him play defense. Joker's feet are slow. He's horrible on defense. I'm watching this whole series, and Aiden's getting in positions he can't take advantage of because he's soft. He's not the type of center that's going to give him problems. All Joker's got to do is just put his elbow on him, push him out the paint, and Aiden can't go over him. He can't go through him. AD can. That's going to be the difference. I'm telling you, they're going to put him in a lot of bad situations. Ham is smart enough. They're going to get Jokic in some foul trouble when they play the Nuggets. They're going to make him use his feet and he's gonna also show that he doesn't have a lot of lift, man. He's a spectacular offensive player, one of the best we've ever seen, especially at the center position. He might be the most versatile center we've ever had in the NBA. But defensively, man, I'm watching the games. He's in places where he's supposed to really get hurt, but Aiden can't do it. He's getting put in positions where he could really get taken advantage of, and I think AD will.
That's funny. So when I was thinking about the breakdown and disagreeing with you, I was thinking of the other side of the ball. And my view of looking at that is when the Nuggets have the ball, I'm curious to see how good. So the Lakers defense has been, right, and this hurts my heart to say, but they've been the best defense since the trade, right? And that's been the key.
Since the second half,
Yeah, it's been the key to their team. But AD's been roaming a lot, right? And we know, right? We've seen it with Hakeem Olajuwon. We saw it with Rudy Gobert when he was actually good in Utah. One of those big men that rotates can make you look a lot better defensively, right? Make me look a lot better as a guard if you keep rotating and protecting the rim every time my guy beats me off the dribble. I'm going to be curious to see when he's forced to play Jokic the whole game, how that defense looks without him bailing out his teammates.
They're gonna make Aaron Gordon beat them. They're gonna let Aaron Gordon stay wide open. It's gonna be an Aaron Gordon series. He's gonna get all the shots he wants because what they're gonna do is probably body up on Jokic with LeBron a little bit, most of the game, and as you said, let AD kind of come over and run him into AD because that's what they've been doing most of the time. That's why they've been so successful. As you said, he's been playing like that safety position.
Yeah.
I don't see him going head up on Jokic every play. Sometimes I'm sure he'll have to, but most of the time, I think that it's going to be LeBron putting his muscle on him to try to keep him out the paint. And then you got AD, they're going to run him into AD. And it's going to always
I don't
end
think
up West
that'll work
Gordon.
either. Jokic will shoot over him. His touch is too good. And I don't
Well,
think
you want him shooting fade away 16 footers instead of, just killing you in the paint, man. Like, just getting layups and where he's getting all these offensive rebounds.
Even from like 15 foot in, it just feels like it's automatic.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's in the paint from anywhere. Anyways, we'll move on that. We don't even.
When we get to, I can't wait till if we get to that series.
Happen, right? AD,
right?
Go off in game 6. Then it's a game 7. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah.
Let's dive into tonight. We'll stop with the hypotheticals because
it's fun though. It's fun.
Yeah, we have some interesting games. I'll be honest. I think the Tuesday Thursday slates are better than the Monday Wednesday.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts here though. Let's talk about the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Do they stay alive tonight? Do they show some heart? Do they, right? I mean, I don't think they have a chance to win this series, but do they, right, make a statement, respectable loss, right, and not just get completely swept away? Or is it just over?
I think it's over, man. I think that the Knicks enjoy going to Miami, but not in uniform. So they're not going to want to take the trip back down. I think they're going to go on, and I think the line kind of shows you that. I think they go ahead and wave the white flag tonight. They probably come out fast, but they just don't have the team, especially with Emmanuel quickly missing, man. He's a big part of their rotation. He brings so much energy. He's kind of like their Maxi, he's their baby Maxi. He can come in and give you 30 on any given night, but for sure he puts so much stress on the defense it opens up the court for everybody else, and he was getting some major minutes. They're really missing him a lot, and I just think that the Heat smell blood, and they're one of those teams that are cutthroat, man. They're trying to get it over, just like they did with the Bucks. It's not like they're not one of those teams like how the Lakers are. Like tonight, we know the Lakers probably give a good effort early, but if they see it's not going their way, they're going to fall back. Not the Heat. The Heat are going to come out with blood in their eyes, man, and I think that they send them home tonight. I really like the Heat plus the 3.5.
All right, so you like the Miami Heat. You're taking the points there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Also, I have some props on them. I have some props on them as too.
We'll do that in the
Ball and Parlay. Yep.
Warriors, do they stay alive?
They should, man. How you gonna go against the Warriors at home in this type of position? Like this should be like the Nuggets game where they just allow everybody to win. Because as you'll see, the correlation in the Ball and Parlay, I have a prop that's gonna show you why I don't think the Lakers do too much.
All right. Obviously saw it, and I'm with you on a different derivative, but same idea. I know I said we won't spend too much time on hypotheticals, but let's have some fun. If the Warriors win tonight,
Hmm.
Do they take some momentum into chase? I mean, let's just say they win by 20, right? And they look fantastic. I
Hmm.
don't really think it means a lot, right? We saw the Lakers do this in Game 5 against Memphis, right? Where they just,
Yep.
no, we don't care, right? LeBron went out with 8 minutes to go, right? AD played his lowest minute total of the playoffs, so uh, it's a great chance for the Warriors to get momentum. I'm not sure if it's going to matter. So, do you have anything more?
This Ham will let them get blown out. That's what I'm telling you. Like if they don't, if Golden State gives them opportunity early to stay in the game, and it's okay, we can take these guys out tonight. If it's a tight game, the Lakers win. If the Warriors win, it's gonna be a blowout. We pretty much know that because the Warriors are a front runner. That's how they play. They front running team, man. And so if they, get to dancing and you know how they do up in there, everybody get to going crazy, then yeah, uh, I think they blow them out, but it still doesn't matter because that's the whole plan with the Lakers. They're just pacing themselves. They're pacing themselves. They know it's a long road, and they're just trying to get to what is it, 16 wins. So you know they um they understand that each game doesn't really matter. They've done and accomplished what they needed to in game one. I would not be surprised at all if you see a lackluster performance from the Lakers tonight, so that their guys can come more motivated when they get back to Crypto Center.
Yeah, I mean, I think the motivation, I think we overuse that word, but more rested, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and keep some things there in the back
It's
pocket. So,
just it's just like your mind, whether you know it or not. It's kind of like when people tell you about different remedies and medicines. Sometimes the medicines don't do anything, but it's your mind. So since your
right,
mind
right.
says it, it affects the body. And I think that's the same way. If you see yourself lost 118 to 87,
Yeah,
now when you come home the next game, you're like, urgency. Like, come on,
yeah,
man, they beat us by 30. Whereas
yeah,
you lose by 2 points, you almost like, man, we could have had them. Dang, we
yeah,
let them back in the series. So I think he allows those blowouts, when they're not playing well, which is kind of smart, man, because it's a lot of psychology to coaching in the NBA.
yeah. Like I said, nothing frustrates me more than when Lakers fans were trashing Darvin Ham all year.
Yeah.
Because first of all, that roster that he had the first half of the season wasn't designed to win.
Horrible.
So, like, what are you
Horrible.
supposed to do? You
The
know,
fact that he kept them afloat with Westbrook as getting all those
and he
minutes.
got Westbrook to buy in and coming off the bench. He did so many good
Yeah.
things with
Yeah.
that. Anyways, you know, we say this, but the reason we're able to make so much money and this and these sports are so popular is because of these rabid fan bases, right?
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep. They push the lines up and make the market sweet for us.
well, and they make people care about sports, right? I mean, like
Right.
it's still funny because we're so entrenched in this gambling space.
Yeah.
95% of my friends don't gamble and just care about who wins and are rooting for one team and they only watch one team and they follow one team, right? And they know everything about that team. Like I got a friend in baseball, right? The Giants.
Hmm.
He knows everything about the Giants, right? American League, he barely knows half the players in the American League, right?
And I
But
caught
he'll tell
myself
you
doing
who's the
that,
worst middle reliever on the Giants, who's the best prospect they got coming up, who,
wasting a bunch of time instead of making money off of it. I used to do the
yeah,
same thing till I was about 16. And when I learned
yeah,
better about this sports betting, I was like, it's no way in hell I'm about to sit in front of this TV and waste all these beautiful days that I'm missing to go outside and be a
yeah,
part of life, watching this mess, and I'm not going to make any money of it because, man, sports is one of the biggest distractions in life. That's why
yeah,
we do the best thing you're supposed to do. This is good entertainment, but people like how you say your friend, you're spending all these hours and times and you're obsessed with this stuff, but it's not making you any money. You could be using that same obsession and time to, put into something that's going to be valuable for your family. So that's the main reason why I bet sports, man, is because I'm a sports fanatic. I'm passionate about it. So it has to make me money if I'm going to put that much time of my life into it.
yeah, exactly. So it's just something fun. So I don't want to get too hard on these fans, right? The reason that all this money is in the sports is not because of guys like us. It's because of the fans.
No, it's because the fanatics.
But
Yep.
I feel bad for them because only 1 in 30 teams wins every year, right? And a lot of these guys have fallen into the championship or bust mentality.
It's
And
the
so
Stockholm syndrome, though.
you
They'll
got
always
like
be
a
back.
2% chance of being happy by the end of the year.
That's what
right? I
keeps them
mean,
coming back. That's what keeps them coming back, especially in football. Football, and now NBA is starting to get like that. Now, for the longest, it was where you knew which teams would most likely win, but NBA is now becoming, a lot.
it's better,
Uh,
I think. I
yeah,
like it better
it's
now.
better. NFL every year, when we start now, the last decade, you don't know who's going to win. So as long as you're like that, and everybody has these teams that pop up out of nowhere, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden are good in the NFL, and now the NBA is starting to do this. Look at your Kings this year. You guys didn't expect this type of season. You didn't expect
not
to
at
be the
all.
third season. So now,
Mm-mm.
guess how much momentum that carries now that the pain's kind of gone of losing the series, even though you guys know you should have beat the Warriors because you had them at home. Game 7. Now that's kind of worn off a little bit. Now you're looking back the season like, hey man, and that's letting for next year, like, man, we got hope we could actually win this thing.
Yeah.
So that's the great thing about sports.
Yeah, and definitely looking forward to that, and looking forward to some NFL too. I've been
Yeah.
diving in a little bit when the Warriors pissed me off there in game 4. I started pulling up the NFL pods, looking at offsaves and trying to.
I'll have you out here soon. We'll be going to some A's and Raiders games.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But right now, let's give the people, the winners, the time for the ball and parlay. What you got for us?
All right, man. We riding Max Struess in the first game against the Knicks. As I said to the Heat, this is a closeout game. They're not taking any games off. What I've noticed since the playoffs started, and especially since the injury to Hero, Struess has been the third best player on his team. He's got the third most minutes right behind Bam and Jimmy Butler. He also gives the Knicks most shots to Jimmy Butler. He's getting up more shots than Bam is. And, he lives and dies by the three, so they correlate. So we're going to go with him over 11.5 points. The last 3 games, he's averaged about 18. And then also to go over 2.5 3-pointers. The last 3 games, he's averaged 4 3-pointers a game. So I really like everything that Struess brings. I've followed him since DePaul in Chicago, man, when he was like the only thing they had on their team. And I was like, this guy can play, man. He was a beast. And I'm glad that he was able to come to the league and show off his talent, man, because he's a really, really good player. So we're on Max Struess over 11.5 points, over 2.5 3-pointers. And then, as we talked about earlier, I think that if the Warriors come out hot, if they get on the Lakers early, I think the Lakers sit down in the second half and just relax and kind of save AD for the game of his life. Next to his bubble series for the championship, this is the next biggest game that AD will have played in Game 6 when they get a chance to close out the champion Warriors. And I know that him and LeBron are going to be all in on that game. So I expect Anthony Davis to go under 39 points plus rebounds tonight. I don't think he just gets enough usage and enough minutes to accomplish that.
All right, I'm with you. I just took the AD under on the points. We talked about it earlier, though. The strategic advantages of waving the white flag. And you know what? Sometimes you might find something, right? You know, you get a little spark from someone, right? Maybe Malik Beasley drops a couple threes, right?
He needs to. Yeah.
And then you say, hey, now I got a new option for Game 6, or assuming we win, now we've got this guy ready for the Nuggets series. Maybe even though we didn't take advantage of him against the Lakers, he could be the difference against the Nuggets because we know how much different that defense is. So, the idea that, hey, this could just be a Warriors runaway and the Lakers could be completely fine with that, almost a strategic concession of this Game 5 to get ready and just say, hey, one game winner take all, but we got home court in Game 6. I went with Bam Adebayo over 8.5 rebounds. Who's really disappointed me is Mitchell Robinson. And you want to know why? Because Bam Adebayo has been outplaying him night in and night out. So you got to go ahead and give this guy credit. So he's gone over the rebounding prop of 8.5 rebounds in 3 consecutive games. And during the last 6 games, he's averaging 9.5 rebounds per game. He averaged 9.2 rebounds per game during the regular season. During the postseason, he's averaging 9.3 rebounds per game. And in the total of the playoffs, and I'm counting the play-in, he's gone over 8 of the 12 playoff games. And he's been close, too. In 3 of the 4 games that he didn't go over, he landed on 8. So I think we've got a great chance to get over with Adebayo tonight. I think different perspectives to tonight's games, right? I think the Heat
Yeah.
are coming in tonight, guns blazing. Let's finish this. It's over. I think the Lakers are coming in. Guns are in the trunk. Right?
Hey man, let's go hit the smoke shop in the Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna turn it into a nice little Frisco trip. So
Yeah.
yeah, I expect the same thing. So you got it. Spreads going with Bam Adebayo over 8.5 rebounds. We're both taking Anthony Davis to go under on his points and rebounds, and then we were riding with Max Strus over 11.5 and over 2.5 3-pointers, and we both pretty much think that the Heat ended tonight. Anything for the people before we get out of the spread?
No, I'll be interested to talk tomorrow. Is it going to be a Lakers coronation, or will there be a glimmer of hope in Northern California?
They will have a glimmer of hope, and be showing that stupid dog on the stairs hitting the ball in the basket.
You hate that dog.
I hate that dog.
You hate that dog almost as much as I hated my neighbor's dog that wouldn't stop barking.
Oh my gosh! And I just put in for your number one Lakers hater in the universe, Cap. Expected soon.
Did I tell you I was talking about that with my buddy at work yesterday while we were working? And I said, I don't know what's going to take for me to stop. I said, I think I'm just so hurt by 2002 because we know, we talked about that 1 in 30 chance earlier, and we know it's a small market. You don't get many opportunities.
No.
I said, you know what? If the Kings ever win a championship, I will undo my Lakers hatred. But until then, it's on. If the Kings ever win a championship, I will rescind all the hatred.
Fox gives you a chance over the next 5 years. If he doesn't do it after the next 5 years, I see you in the afterlife. Hey guys, hey man, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck to you tonight.